Hey everybody, just adjusting my setup here. Move some stuff around in the office, so hope everybody's doing well. Happy Friday, and we'll invite Wes. Hopefully he's around. Guys, all five of you. Bliskin, how are you? Yeah. So I'm just working, trying to get this annual done by the end of the month, and then not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking Kickstarter, perhaps. Oh, hey, there we go. Oh, that's nice. Nice when it
works out.
Nice when I don't have to jump around for like
5 hours.
yeah.
What are you talking
But
about? Sorry, didn't mean to
just talking
interrupt.
about the annual a little bit, So
Mhm.
I mean, I wasn't, I was just getting started, so you got on like earlier than usual, so
Yeah,
trying to get a good view of this.
yeah, me too. All right.
Yeah.
Ooh, little portal action going on there.
Yeah, I'm trying to draw rolling clouds, and I'm like first time, so I'm like,
Yeah,
so I'm just trying to figure it out, but it's coming along.
they're a lot of fun, and they don't have to be
Yeah.
anything. They
No,
don't
that's
have
it.
to.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'm like, oh, is that gonna look right? And then I'm like, oh yeah, this looks pretty good. This is not a bad idea. So
Yeah. Well,
going
yeah.
down.
Frank Wiley, Mobius, really good at
Mm,
creating like three dimensions with that kind of stuff.
yeah. I
Yeah,
was looking
just
at DWJ stuff, because I was like,
yeah.
he's good at that sort of stuff too, So
Yeah, creating a lot of energy, like movement and things that wouldn't necessarily have a lot of
yeah.
energy to them. Yeah, he's really, really good at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's up?
Um, Nothing much really. This is a
No.
page from um, my Project 38 thingy that I've been talking about for a long
Ah.
time. But it was like it's non-spoilery, just a bunch of. It's not much to look
Mm,
at in a way. I think it's going to be very cool, but
mm. Yeah, it looks a
uh,
little DWJ-ish actually, like with the speed lines and stuff a little bit.
yeah. Well, this is like um, it's called 1938. I can just start revealing some of this stuff. I can't say what exactly. I'm not going to say what it is exactly until
Mm,
I've said I'm working with DC. So until DC says what it is, it's all
right, right.
secret. But like it is set in the past, and it is a very Art Deco kind of influenced thing.
Mm,
So there's speed lines, but I'm going to add like a lot of like gray tone stuff to make it kind of it's a little bit like speed lines, but Art Deco stuff has that kind of like black to white kind of gradation thing that it does. So I'm
right.
trying to do that here.
Okay.
Um, but it starts out like speed lines, and then I add kind of a gray, like I add like black pencil to it to kind of create like the gray tone of it.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, not. I guess it's just a bunch of missiles. So I guess in a way,
Right.
not much to look at in a way, but
Mm,
I didn't really have anything else to switch over to that was. Let me see if I have something else. I don't have anything else right now. Maybe I'll think of
that's
something.
interesting. Yeah. Well, I got some stuff. I got this double page spread that's, you know, that's my thing. Sort of my thing that I do.
Is
Um, yeah. So this is pretty much done. It's like 90% there. I still have a couple of things to fix up and touch up, but so that was a bit of work.
yeah,
You
they're
know.
all a bit of work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've
It's a lot
never
of
met
work.
a
This
page
one.
that wasn't like, how about I put more characters on this page?
Yeah.
How about I make it a double page spread?
I
You
love,
know, it would be even
yeah.
better if it was
I'm
a
like,
double page spread.
how can I make this more difficult? How can I make it? Okay, well, so like speaking of work,
How about I put
I
some
had a chance to
spaceships
like
there?
organize some stuff because I was thinking if I do a Kickstarter, I might do like a little Ashcan accompaniment of sketches or something. Anyway, so
Yeah,
this
sure.
is future Starstorm ideas that I have here, and I was at work last night. I was able to organize all these sketches. So this is like, hold on. I don't. This is just for the for I don't. Well, not the annual. This is yeah. This is the annual ideas. So this is just my sketches, like my little loose sketches for the annual ideas. This is
Yeah.
future Starstorm sketches. This is like a thing I've been working on my figure drawing and anatomy and poses and dynamic posing. So this is all
Yeah.
the sketches. And then this is like the Starstorm universe, which is like sort of like a who's who Marvel universe of Starstorm characters that I've been working on. And that might be another thing. So the whole, so that's about like all the sketches that I've been doing aside from the 11 by 17 drawings. So if you want to draw comic books, kids, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff. But I mean, also I'm very distracted. I like, I'm drawing this and I'm like, oh, I'm going to do like a Marvel universe. And then I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm going to do, start drawing ideas for like the future Starstorm,
Yeah.
stuff. So anyways, this is just like some characters that I've been working on. Some of which you see and know and love already, and some are new. Quite a few are new. So anyway,
Yeah.
so it's going to be sort of a
That's a great idea. I think, behind the scenes stuff is always fun to look at.
yeah. Well, I always loved Frank Miller and not Frank Miller, Frank Quietly and Grant Morrison. Like they'd work on they do something like what's it called
Please repeat.
uh Man of Muscle Memory,
Oh,
what's his
Flex
name?
Metallo.
Flex Metallo, and there'd always be like these flashbacks with all these heroes and there's, and I was always like, oh, who's that? Who are those characters? Like they'd just
Yeah,
be like
yeah.
these random characters. I always thought that was so cool. And, I was always like, kind of making up backstories for them in my head, and so I was like, yeah. So anyways, that's like very inspirational. This is annual ideas and notes. So this is like a bunch of sketches and notes that I have for the annual. Um, yeah, so like a bunch of stuff. Just, I mean, loose sketches. I like sketching on, for some reason, I feel like I draw so much better. I'm so much more loose and free when I draw on like printing paper.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
And it's like even more so than a sketchbook or something. It's like it just seems to be like I just like doing this. So I just grab white printing paper
Me
and I
too.
draw the
I love
ideas on
drawing on
or
printing paper. It's so
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
It's garbage, but it's like, well, for one thing, the sketchbook is that you're very limited because you're drawing on a giant pad of paper.
yeah.
So it's like hard to manipulate, hard to move around.
Mm,
And when you have it, say, on your lap or something, like I do a lot of the time, like I'm doing here, it's like it's a heavy thing. So you got to hold it with your one hand and kind of draw. So it's like very limited.
yeah,
But piece of paper, you flip it around as much as you want,
yeah,
and you can do that with Bristol board. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's something. It takes the pencil really well, and like
yeah. I
there's
mean, it's
something
how we
about
kind of grew up drawing, right? It's like when I was a kid, I
yeah.
think we didn't have sketchbook as sketch. I can't talk today. We didn't have sketchbooks.
Didn't
We
have
had
sketchbook yet.
we just remember like Dad would bring home printing paper from work and stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
or Mom would. I can't remember if it was Mom or Dad, but and that's what we draw on, like this Manila, like sort of old, like late '70s, early '80s, like with these little, like the little holes in this, like in the side where you could like
yeah.
attach it to the printer. They used to catch the holes on the side of the sheet, and it would roll, and that's how it would print out. But it would print out like I can't remember what it was, but I mean, it was old. It wasn't like printing paper now where things get printed clearly. It was like this old printing paper, and the sides you could tear them off, right?
Mm.
You remember that?
No, not
Probably
exactly.
not. Yeah,
Not
that's a little
exactly.
bit like, yeah, I remember like when it first.
I remember the giant roll of paper that Dad got, like
Oh yeah, we had a giant roll. That's right.
the brown paper that he had, but
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
uh, like a
It was
massive
like,
roll.
yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I got one of
Yeah,
those for the kid for my two kids. I got like a giant, but it's like it's huge. But from
yeah,
Omer to Sarah from our local art store, it's like the size of like a small child, but it's the same thing. It's brown
yeah.
paper, super like
Hmm.
the cheapest thing you can find. You just roll off, like generally we use it to kind of cover stuff, but they draw on it too sometimes. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much we used it, but I just remember it sitting in the back of of the basement, you know, like this gigantic roll of brown paper. But I think at the time it's like, well, the one thing we did know is that comic books weren't done on brown paper. Like I think we
Yeah.
were,
Well, I
you know,
didn't really know at the time when it first started. I had no idea how they were made.
yeah,
To be
that's
honest, I
true.
mean,
Yeah, I
so
used to
this
get the
is
Bristol. That was a big thing for me to get I got I thought it was Bristol board, and I went to you go to
mm,
the hobby store, and I got that stuff that's like made for like grade school presentations, and it's shiny and super super glossy. There's like a coat of whatever, like on
yeah,
top of it, like
hated
laminate
it.
or whatever. So it's like it's terrible to draw, and
Yeah, just
it doesn't
go
take
out.
pencil well. The ink
Right,
smears like
right,
crazy. Like I think that was
yeah.
one of those things. I still have those pages that I showed Bart Sears at that convention we went to when we were
Right.
kids, and I think he told me one or two things about like materials. He's like,
Yeah,
this is a pilot pen. Like this is not the right ink that you
right, right,
use.
right,
And he didn't get into the details of it, but he was like, you need to find this kind of Bristol board and you need to find this kind of a pen if you're going to use
right. Yeah.
stuff. I was like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
cool.
Yeah, you were
But
always into like, I mean, I just drew, you know what I mean? And I
yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
I wanted to get like the right stuff. Yeah.
yeah, you were like asking the right questions and sort of like, wanted to know how professionals worked more than like you always like were finding out more information and I was just drawing like just,
Yeah,
random
I
characters and
liked
stuff.
looking in those old Wizard magazines and being like, where do I submit my work? And I mean, not when I was a little kid, but yeah, even when I was a little kid, I was kind of like I did want to get the right stuff. But also, yeah, that paper. I think actually though, like I would have kept just drawing on it just out of just not knowing any better. But eventually, you find out and you go, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I guess I should get this stuff. And then at some point I got
Mm,
Bristol board. I'm not sure when, but
mm,
luckily for mom and dad, Bristol board is also relatively cheap, so that wasn't like a hardship for them when
right, right,
I
right.
wanted to switch over to
Oh,
that.
what it was cheap. It was.
It was. I mean, relative to
Mm, mm,
other papers, it is still relatively cheap. Like it's
right,
not. There
right.
are more expensive things to draw on for sure.
Yeah. Well, I always use these Canson comic book art boards. I love them. They're like I have a tough time drawing on anything else. This is like I'm always like the Sarah only holds them sometimes. I like kind of bug them to get it for me because
Yeah, sure.
I don't like anything else. This is like my if I had to switch, it would bother me because I really love the feel of these pages. They are one of
Yeah,
my
I know
favorite
what you mean.
collecting.
Yeah, we get attached to our favorite thing.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
I have
I
a
mean,
few.
by far. Like, and there's nothing else. Like, it's like I was running out at one point, and they stopped carrying them at our local art store, and I was
What am I gonna
like,
do?
yeah, I need those pages. Like, I'm like, so I was erasing all like, because sometimes you draw stuff, you don't dig it, and you erase it, and you
Thought you
have
were
so I
like
had like a bunch of
stockpiling Canson paper like the apocalypse.
yeah, so I had like pages I could erase and stuff. So I was doing that, and then like, finally I managed to get some in, and then like, my wife works at this area now at the art store, so so I got an in now, so
Yeah, it's pretty
for the
sweet.
time being, yeah. So,
It helps. Yeah, some
um,
of the stuff you just got to get. I get my Robert Bateman sketchbooks from a place in Calgary. Like they don't have them here anywhere, so it's like
yeah,
I just gotta some stuff you gotta switch to getting them online sometimes.
they used
And
to
then
be at
some things just run out. Like there's a brush that I use for the blue lines for the blue like watercolor stuff that I use
mm,
for Kaya.
yeah,
There's a certain brush. It's just my favorite brush because it holds like a ton of water in it, and it still holds. It's a super super fat brush, but it holds like a fine point.
right,
And I think it's Dynasty, and I can't find it right now. So I keep
mm,
looking, and I just can't find a good one. And
mm,
yeah, it's kind of same thing. I'm kind of like getting nervous. I'm like, well, eventually this one's not going to hold its point anymore, and I'm going to have to get a new one. But I don't know
yeah,
where to look. So yeah, it's
mm.
always an existential crisis when we run out of our favorite art supplies.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. I was just thinking I was going to talk about, I don't know, I was going to transition to it, but I mean, I'll do it like this. I got the coolest toy ever the other day. Wes is extremely jealous of my next level of nerd, but he knows what I'm talking about. But I
Yeah.
picked up being a big Elric fan, I don't know if people can see this. I'll put it up, but anyway, I got this figure the other day, Elric. He's kind of running out, but
It
anyways,
blurs out. Yeah, you can
Stormbringer.
see it get from there. Yeah, from that point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So like Michael Moorcock and the Elric series and the Eternal Champion series, more so Elric, but just that universe that he created is a huge inspiration to me. Yeah, and there's going to be like nods to it in Starstorm. And there has been nods to it in the first 6 issues and
yeah.
trade, but very minor, very slight. There'd be a little bit more, I think. Not so much in this. Not so much in this annual, but there's an issue I'm going to do that's basically going to be a straight ripoff. I'm just going to steal it, right? And you'll be able, if you're a Moorcock fan, then you're gonna know what it is. But when it comes out, which is going to be another 20 years from now, but yeah. Anyways, that toy's dope. And
Yeah.
what's that?
It's very cool.
Yeah, yeah. So I was thinking about. I was thinking about this. I was telling you that Moorcock actually created his own symbols for chaos and order, right? So like this is Elric's shield, and that's a symbol for chaos. So I'm going to be using that symbol in Starstorm. Hopefully he doesn't try to sue me or anything. I don't think so, but
Yeah, well, I don't. I still haven't checked that out, but I mean, you look on whatever Wikipedia for anarchy or chaos, and it's like
yeah,
that's the symbol. So it's an internationally accepted symbol. I don't think it's
yeah. But I think
copyright Michael.
I've watched.
Maybe you're right. I'm just saying as of now, I think it's public domain. I don't think it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think he created it though. From what I watched a YouTube video and
yeah.
that's what it said. But maybe it was wrong, or maybe I just misinterpreted it. But yeah,
It's a cool symbol for sure. It's
yeah,
funny. He is such a he is such like it's like Michael Moorcock's from England, and he's such a cool character that he created, but he is like this aristocrat with the ring, and like
mm,
he's kind of sickly and like maybe possibly inbred, and it's
yeah.
very
Well,
like
he's an albino,
almost a
right?
bad guy, royal like British royalty kind of,
Yeah,
I never thought
but
of it
that's
that
what
way,
makes him
but
interesting. That's what makes him
yeah.
interesting. It's like it doesn't go well for him at all, and like that's why I like him because it's so
Yeah.
dark and like brooding, and he's such like a he's like a half depressed character, but with bad luck, and he basically is like he's the last king of his empire, and he basically like lets the empire fall apart. It's of his own doing, and
Yeah.
yeah. And I was watching. Well, that's why I've been watching House of the Dragon, which I freaking love. I mean, it has bad reviews though on like Rotten Tomatoes and stuff, or like lower scores than I was expecting. But I
Oh yeah.
love it. I love it. I mean, I love Knight of the Seven
Agreed.
Kingdoms as well. But I mean, I love dragons and like
Yeah.
white-haired elves, like that are like kind of like chaotic evil, and like some of them are good, and but it all comes from Elric. They all owe a tip of the hat to Elric. Like he's like one of these
Yeah.
first sort of anti-heroes. You know what I mean? Like he's kind
Yeah.
of, I mean, kind of the first almost. I mean, it was like, I mean, those were commissioned after Conan became super popular, like that, like the publishing company that he was working for asked him to create something along the lines of Conan, but in
Yeah. And
doing
it's
so, it was like, I mean, it's like Conan, and it's set in that sort of time and place, similar time and place, like it's similar to Lord of the Rings or like Dungeons and Dragons. But
yeah.
it's
Well,
it's
they
it's
always
very
talk.
much its own thing.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's very imaginative, and it's really, I mean, I love those stories. It was the first
Yeah.
time I remember reading those books. Remember, like I stole them from the library at school, and they had like the runes, the gray books, and they had the runes on the side, and they were like this drawing that was very graphic and sort of stiff, but very like who would you say it looked like? You know what I'm talking about? The books, the old books.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I love
Yeah,
those. I love the
yeah.
painting on the front. You mean, or
Yeah, they were so cool, like
I
just
love
gave you
them.
an idea of this character, this pale white face with red eyes, and and
Yeah.
like this ornate, garb that he would wear and stuff. And it was like, I mean, it was just like, it was the first time when I read those books. I remember I'd read them before I'd go to bed at night, and everything would be very quiet. And we lived close to the highway, so I could kind of just hear like cars like zooming by, and it was sort of like I'd be reading it, and it was like the first time I kind of like,
Tripped
it was like going into another. What's that?
tripped out a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Before, like, when I was young, I was just like a kid, but I mean, I was like, it really took me to that place, like another
Yeah, yeah.
place, and it gave me like this weird sort of very like I really love it is that silence and you're just reading and you're just like, especially back then I was a little more able to focus a little bit better than I am these days. But
Yeah, we've talked about before. It's like the feeling that it gives you.
yeah,
We're not metal guys and we're not like gothy guys. Like that wasn't like a
no,
thing that we were into when we were kids, but it gives you that kind of gothy metal kind of a feeling.
yeah,
And it's a cool feeling and we both like we've talked before like we both like we felt it, you know what I mean? Like we were like
yeah,
as in like I'm feeling this kind of. I felt we felt it like
yeah,
it was a cool feeling, and and like you said, it's very kind of almost depressed and somber, and there's like a it's just real
yeah,
black. It's real black, like
yeah,
so.
yeah.
But it's cool in a way too. Like I've tried to
It's
explain to my kids, I'm like, yeah, that thing over there. Like I've a few nights ago, the moon was fully like a full moon, and there was clouds around it. Stereotypical kind of Batman Gotham moon. And
mm,
I was explaining to the kids, I was like, yeah, it's kind of creepy, but like cool. Like I was like,
mm,
I like it though. At the same time, it's like it's not scary. It's like just kind of neat to look at, and it gives you that
mm,
same kind of a. It's like they give you that feeling, like looking at a moon that's got some
yeah,
clouds passing over it. Like
yeah,
hard to describe, but that kind of like
yeah, no, that's it.
gothy,
It's just,
metally kind of a feeling.
yeah,
Like
I
it's
mean,
kind
the
of
older I get, like,
it's
I mean, the
interesting.
guys I hung around with and like, they were like big metal guys, I mean, we were
Yeah,
like, I wasn't a big metal, but the older I get, the more I like, because I think I go back and now I even like hair metal and all that sort of stuff now. Like, I listen to it way more. I mean, I used to listen to it a little bit back in the day. I was like Danzig and I liked,
yeah, yeah.
some things. I mean, I wasn't
That's
like
true.
huge.
Yeah, there's some things that crossed over for me and you. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Dig, and it's like I kind of like Nine Inch Nails, and I kind of like this and that, but like full on metal, I don't know if I was really a fan. But anyway,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I remember like Ozzy, like mom saying, "Oh, he's sick. He ate a head of a bat. He's a sick," and that was my perception of Ozzy. So I never got into Ozzy or Sabbath because I thought they were like evil, and then like, but then I heard, I heard Iron Man or something like that. I'm like, these guys are freaking awesome. You know what I mean? So,
yeah,
and then like, you know, uh, a lot of my friends listened to Ozzy, and it was like there were songs I liked. I just didn't get into it. Unfortunately, it was like when he passed away, I really started listening, and I'm like, man, I love some of these songs. They're some of my favorite songs, So,
yeah.
so now I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of become like a bit of a not a metal head, but I've always been like a punk rock. We listened to more punk rock, rockabilly, and hip hop when we were growing up was mostly what we listened to. But I mean, I do dig the metal these days.
Broadening horizons.
Yeah, well, it's
Um,
it's sort of like it brings me back too because it's like this is stuff that was around on the periphery when I was, hanging out and
yeah,
playing
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons and that sort of stuff and hanging around with those guys. So it was like it was mostly like the older brother, like remember Taras and Adrian, right? He was like a big metal guy. He was listening
Yeah.
to like Rat and who else did he listen to? Ozzy and Dio and Sabbath, and he listened to some other cheesy stuff too. But anyway, but he,
Yeah, I
but
can't get into most of it, but I love Sabbath, and I can't
yeah,
get into
yeah,
Dio and Rat and all that. I don't think I'll ever get into it, but like, yeah, I love Sabbath, and I
I
love
love
there's a
Rat.
few, but it's like things that cross over a little bit. Like I love Motorhead, I love Sabbath, I love.
Yeah, yeah,
There's things that are metal that I'm like, I don't even know exactly what Motorhead is, but if I had to, I'd say kind of this metal, I guess. But it's like,
yeah. It's
anyway, yeah,
it's
like,
got a
but
punk influence though. It's very
yeah, that's
fast.
what
It's
makes it
like it's
easier
sort
for
of
me to
like
kind of get into it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's a
super,
bit
it's super
different.
fast, that's the thing too. Is
Yeah,
the speed of it and the aggression of his voice. But anybody that sounds anything like Lemmy, I'm like a fan of. So
yeah. Well, also like when I was a kid, I'd go to sleepovers at my friend's house, and they used to always rent like A Nightmare on Elm Street and all these horror movies. It used to scare the living shit out of me, and I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks after I watched them. But like as you get older, it doesn't scare me anymore. It's like I love them. I watch them every year on Halloween, and it's like just that nostalgia of it. Hey, mom, mom's on, so we got to watch out what we say. Uh,
What's she doing there?
I don't know. She jumps in once in a while. Um,
Oh, she's on
yeah.
the
So like,
thing. Oh, I thought you meant she's
what?
at your house. I was like,
No,
what
no.
the fuck?
She's on listening to us,
Listening.
spying. Hi, mom. So yeah. So like, what was I gonna say? Yeah, so like a lot of the soundtrack from like A Nightmare on Elm Street is like in my head, you know what I mean? And it's like, and I used to like Dawkins, back when I was a kid, like when I was starting to get into that stuff, I got in, like I liked Dawkins. It was like that was a guy that I like, a band that I liked.
Yeah.
And I kind of forgot about it because I got heavy into punk rock and rockabilly and so I'd stop listening to that stuff. But then it's like, I'm like, Spotify comes around and you're like, you listen to one sort of hair metal song and then it, suggests more. And then you're like, oh yeah, Dawkins. I'm like, damn, yeah, I haven't listened to that since like 1987. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
Mhm.
and then I listen, I'm like, oh yeah, I like this. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
But, yeah, yeah. So it's all kind of part and parcel with that sort of Elric sort of,
Yeah.
uh, D&D sort of
Yeah.
world,
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Yeah. Metal and fantasy kind of go hand in hand.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, it does, yeah.
but because also, yeah, they took that kind of the whatever the iconography of like fantasy and a lot of like Zeppelin and on afterwards, it's a lot of there's like J.R. Tolkien, like Lord of the Rings stuff in
Right,
and Norse mythology and Zeppelin, and they all took that and kind of ran with that after the next bands that were inspired by Zeppelin. So yeah, it's all in the
right,
DNA.
yeah,
But yeah, for sure they do. Going back to what you're saying, they do owe a debt for sure. Like Alan Moore is a big Michael Moorcock fan. You ever seen that interview between the two of them?
no,
Oh, they're on YouTube. There's an interview with the two of them. It's fascinating.
oh,
Obviously, two giants, like talking, and
yeah,
it's kind
yeah,
of cool because it's like generally speaking, it's people talking to Alan Moore that are looking up to Alan Moore, but in this
mm,
case, it's like, oh, like Moore
yeah,
gets to talk to one of his favorites that inspired him a little bit.
yeah,
I don't know if there's a huge age difference, but I think, when Alan Moore was
mm,
getting into his comic book stuff, like, Elric and
mm,
all that was already a thing. And it's
right,
like, he's like Elric's like a deconstruction of the
right,
sword and sandal or whatever thing, where instead of, he takes everything that Conan is, and Elric is kind of like the opposite of that. He's
right,
he's he's sickly and all the and like
right,
whereas like it's Conan's all machismo, all like the strongest man will survive, and
right,
like
right,
then Elric over here like I need my drugs, like
mm, yeah,
he's all
exactly,
he's
yeah,
all messed up all the time, and he doesn't even really want to do most of the things that he does. Like he's like, I guess I'll go on this mission because I have to. He just
yeah,
seems
yeah,
to like want to not really be involved in the world, and yeah,
yeah,
it's kind of
he's
interesting,
a
and that's
depressed
where
character,
like Watchmen is like a deconstruction of superheroes, and years
right,
and years later, there's George R. R. Martin does a deconstruction of fantasy too, but I feel like yeah, Elric kind of that came years before with what Elric did.
yeah,
So
yeah, and
yeah,
like we've been saying it for a while that it's like, when are they going to make like a TV series out of this character? It's like, I don't know why someone hasn't, and maybe because it would be kind of challenging and hard to do right because it's such a beloved character and such a, you know what I mean? It would be kind of tough, but I mean, I don't know why they got to do it though.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't get it. It would be expensive, obviously, if you did it.
Yeah,
The thing is, yeah, nobody like. That's the thing with all these things. It's like I don't want to see. I don't. I want to see it done right. I don't want to see
yeah,
some. I don't want to see Elric just for the sake of seeing Elric, just to say that we were right.
yeah, of
It's like you
course,
got
of
to get the
course.
right people in there. You got to get the right actor. You got to. I want to. Some of the visuals that we have from those old P. Craig Russell graphic novels, like man,
Yeah,
I want to see his kingdom and
mm-hmm.
like it would be far out, man, and everything would be all misty all the time. like I wasn't really I'm not a big fan of The Witcher, and I didn't really get into that show, but I do feel like that world is very Elric like. It's very
Yeah,
misty and somber and kind of gross in some ways, and
Well,
You
I
know what I
tried to
mean?
get
Like,
into it, The Witcher, because of that. I've been like sort of on this Elric sort of, dark fantasy
yeah,
thing recently. So I've been trying to find something new, but I was watching a bit of The Witcher, but I'm like, eh. It's like if I'm gonna watch, I'll watch Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. You know what I mean? Because it's done so well. It's like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like you can't compare. I mean, I
Yeah,
might
some
play The
people love
Witcher
it,
still,
whatever.
but
It just
yeah,
wasn't my thing, wasn't your thing. It's all good, you know.
yeah,
But in that but like the not the style of it exactly, but kind of that the feel of that world felt to me a little bit like some of the Elric books that I've read, you know, like
right.
I feel everything's very misty and very kind of dead woods and you know
Mm,
like that kind of a world. Not always, obviously, but
yeah.
and it's a
Oh,
it's a dangerous world with with some wolves like howling in the background and you know it's that kind of a
right.
place.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so it's like they've touched on it. I just man, I don't know, man. The Lords of Order and chaos
That's the coolest thing. I
and
mean, that's
just no one else has done that. It's like Lord of the
yeah,
Game of Thrones has dragons and stuff, but nobody like these cool, crazy gods. Like
yeah.
that would be so cool to kind of semi-visualize. You wouldn't even have to have. That's the thing. You don't have to have, like spend $1 billion in special effects to show it.
Yeah.
You can imply a lot of it. You could cover a lot of it in, the Lords of Order would be so much light that you wouldn't, in my mind, like you wouldn't have to
Mm,
see them fully. You just kind of give the impression of what they might look like, which would be even better because it's almost like human beings can't
grasp them.
fully look
Yeah.
upon them without going blind or going mad or whatever like that,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the
Well,
idea.
that's the way it's
And
described in the book. It's like when he describes like there's one part in one of the books when he's describing like this Lord of Order, and it's like you can't even really like they take human form for a second, but then they're like transitioning to these grotesque figures
yeah,
and like so it's like you can't really. It's hard to visualize because it doesn't really give you any context to visualize with. You just know that this thing is like it's like so messed up that it's like
yeah.
it would drive you insane to see this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that
Like,
again, like it all comes from stuff. It's like I'm sure he read H.P. Lovecraft. That's more or
yeah,
less how he describes the elder gods. Like they're
right,
very it's very ambiguous and he uses the fact that it's just words, it's not
right,
visuals, so it's like he implies things, but he doesn't exactly they don't always make sense together, but you get the
yeah.
general again, you're left with the feeling of like, oh, that's messed up
That's the thing.
or
It's the feeling.
awe inspiring or whatever it may be.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
So you
what's
could show
interesting about
some
it.
of that, and like the Lords of Chaos could be in darkness so dark that again you only see maybe like 20 eyes from one face, or just things that
Right.
creep you out. Like
Yeah,
that would be cool. The Blade obviously is cool, a
yeah,
Stormbringer, and
yes. I mean, some
and
of the
there's no like
coolest.
and just because they it's like they would seem like they're good and bad, but they're not good and evil. Like
Right.
they're good and
Exactly.
evil is super like not part of Elric's story, really.
Yeah, yeah. They're very ambiguous. Like Lords of Order, you figure would be good and chaos is evil, but it's not that way. It's like they just have their own sort of agendas that they put forth into the world, and it's like they're not necessarily good or evil. They're just like
Yeah,
have their
and
things.
him too. It's like he doesn't even have. It's almost it's like good and evil doesn't even exist in that world in a way. Like I don't know
Yeah,
if they talk about it, but it's like Elric doesn't. He true antihero. Like there is
yeah.
no. He's not a good guy at all. Like it's just kind of. Which again,
Well, he
maybe that.
is in a way, but you know what I mean? He is a good, I mean, really, he is a good guy, but he's like,
Well, he has his code, but his code is a
yeah,
weird code.
yeah, but he's just a different, like, he comes from a different civilization. So it's not
Yeah.
like, things aren't cut and dry the way they are in our world, you know what I mean? Or as cut and dry, you know what I mean? It's like they're a messed up culture. So it's like of like these, they're not even like they're not human. They're not like elves. I mean, I guess they're somewhat like elves, but not really. They're like this
Well,
new.
again, they're kind of like Targaryens in a way.
Yeah,
There's the
yeah.
Doom. I mean, I also like okay, so like
Well, that's it. It's like
In
Damon.
Conan, there's Hybori. It's the Hyborian Age, but the sinking of Atlantis happened, 1,000 years ago, and they're Elric is kind of like the same that type of thing. Is that they're from an empire that no longer exists anymore, and like the Targaryens came from a land that was destroyed, like the right,
Right.
like the doom of old Valyria, and it's all that same type of thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
like I wouldn't be surprised if George R. R. Martin was like, because
Oh,
they look
big.
like Elric's people. Like they're even, and
Yeah.
they don't show it in the TV show that much because but they're even
No,
more
they
freaky in
don't
the
look like
novels
Melanie
because
Boney.
they have purple eyes and they have white skin and then white hair, right? So it's like very Elric
Right.
like.
Yeah, but Elric's people don't have. He's an albino, so he has
Oh,
white
that's
hair and
true.
white
That's
skin.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
rest of
forgot
them
about
don't
that.
look like that. Like he has a cousin that has red hair, which always kind of bothered me because he was like a super evil, and I was like, I want to be like Elric. Like, I want to be like his cousin. But yeah, so I mean, they're not like that. Like
Yeah,
his
that's
love
true.
is got
That
like dark hair and stuff, So
Yeah, that's a good point.
yeah.
But otherworldly
But
though,
yeah, but
they're
yeah,
not
but let's
they're
say
not human, and that's the
yeah,
Targaryens are also not exactly
they're very
human.
much like Targaryens, like
Yeah,
the way they act, like
the way
their
they act.
behavior, like
Yeah,
they're chaotic evil, like they're in between chaotic good and chaotic evil. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
they're yeah,
and
so they're
they're aristocracy, like they're douches.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
They
Yeah,
think they're better than everybody else.
yeah,
But
exactly.
so yeah, there's a lot of like that may again maybe that's like it's already been done. Also, man, that demon armor that he wears is like,
Yeah,
geez, this guy is Elric right now.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's crazy. Like they must know. Like when you see
yeah.
that, you're like that must be a nod to Elric. There's no way it's not.
Hmm.
Um, but anyway, yeah, super cool. It's a tough sell in a way because of the moral ambiguity and stuff like that. But again, like I would have
Right.
said that if this was like 20 years ago, I would say that's a tough sell. But man, like
Mm,
everything that all these shows have done to allow for more nuanced characters that aren't just strictly good and evil, it's like we're there now. Like we don't need to.
yeah,
It's not the network television thing anymore where it's like half an hour. Like that's the reason that Game of Thrones exists is that there's places like HBO and stuff like that that are able to kind of have morally ambiguous characters and like
yeah,
crazy stuff happening, like whether it be sex and violence and all the adult themes and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think it's ever going to happen for some reason. I feel like they would have
yeah,
done it by now because there's been ever since Game of Thrones came out, it's like they gave every fantasy series like a shot, and for some reason Elric wasn't on the table. So I don't
yeah. I
know.
don't know. I
This
wonder
is
if
the time to
this
strike,
has something. Yeah, well, I wonder if it has something to do with Moorcock not like wanting it to be done,
Yeah, that's totally
or
possible.
turning down offers. The only thing is, like, I remember, like, at one point I was, I was listening to a bunch of interviews with him, and he's a musician, right? He played in rock bands, a big Beatles fan, but he
Oh yeah.
hated the Stones, and I was like, oh, that's disappointing. I'm like, and he was like just dogging out the Stones from what I can remember. He was calling them like, and it was like an interview from, I don't know, the 60s, I guess, so, and I was like, oh, that's disappointing. I'm like, oh, he doesn't like the Stones. I'm like, all right, well, not everybody can be what you want them to be.
Yeah, you can't always get what you want, Drew.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
I saw this thing recently where it's like I was listening actually to Keith Richards his solo album from like the early 90s.
Right.
Like I don't know all of it, but I love some of those songs are some like I love those songs.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them is like apparently like a diss track towards Mick Jagger. So even Keith Richards doesn't always like the Stones.
Right. Yeah.
They're a controversial you
Yeah.
know, they're semi-controversial bands sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, I do have to always stick with the Stones over the Beatles because that's just that's like a lifelong
That's
opinion. If you have to make the
something.
decision, one time I heard that one time like you're either a Beatles fan or you're a Stones fan. I'm like, well, that's an easy one for me.
No, you're mixing it up. You're even either an Elvis fan or a Beatles fan. That's what they say in Pulp Fiction.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
either an
I've
Elvis
heard the
fan.
Stones and Beatles one too, but
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
um, what was I gonna say? Yeah, anyway, one day, guys, why won't you listen to us, Elric? But again, one day, we get it and it's garbage and we go, why? That's happened too. We've been waiting for things for years and then they come along and you go, well, that was not good. So,
Yeah.
it needs to be the right people in the right place, obviously, too.
Yeah. That's right. It's true. You
And
can't
it
be.
would be a very expensive, if you wanted to do it right, man, that thing would be pretty expensive for sure. Because
Yeah. Yeah.
there'd be a lot of like very crazy sets and CGI and
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
No dragons though. Dragons seem very expensive. That seems like insane to me. like all the stuff we see
No, there
on.
are dragons. They're dragon masters, just like whatchamacallit.
Oh, do they still exist though?
Yeah, yeah. They're the
Oh,
dragon. They're the dragon masters. It's very much Game of Thrones. I mean, like you said. They owe tip of that. It's definitely inspired by Elric. They're
yeah.
like he's yeah. They're the dragon. They ride dragons. They're like
Uh,
the original dragon riders.
been
In
a long
as
time
far as I
since.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I read some stuff recently. Not recently, but like in the last I don't know 5 years, I guess. And
Yeah. No, you've always been since you were a kid. You were always into it. I got into my.
yeah.
I had my Conan thing for a while there. I was loving a lot of audiobooks with Conan.
Mm.
Actually led to like Kaya. I mean, Kaya wouldn't exist without Conan. She's a pint-sized Conan. But um, but yeah, you were all like as when I was a little kid. That's one thing I was actually envious of was your cool Elric books that you had on your bookshelf behind your bed because they were just so cool looking. I loved those runes on the sword, and
Yeah.
yeah, he was so creepy looking, kind of, you know.
Yeah, well, I mean, those are the two of the coolest. Like the Lords of Order and Chaos thing is just like really, really that he. I mean, he just, he prays to the Lords of Chaos. Like his main god is the Lord of Chaos, and he's sort of like this. So like when he gets in like deep trouble, like he's gonna die, he kind of prays to this Lord of Chaos, and he comes in and
Yeah,
kind of helps him. But the Lords of Chaos, since they need things to be chaotic, is that he helps them but then he takes something in return, which is usually like somebody he loves or something like that.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah. Like,
mean? So
literally,
even
like
though he
the
knows that it's
devil.
like it's gonna mess him up in the long run, it's like sometimes he has no choice but to like, invoke this magic and like, but he knows that it's gonna there's a price to pay in the future and
Yeah,
it's a heavy, you know what I mean? So
yeah. That's the thing. That's like he's doomed. You know, like that's
yeah,
kind of like that's part of that metal kind of the feeling is that it's like your main character is like he is doomed. You know, like.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Like if there's anything you just there's no way this is going to turn out okay for this guy
No,
or the people around him, you know.
yeah,
There's something about that that's kind of like cool in a way.
yeah,
All right, well, I didn't think we would have anything to talk about, but that was a good little
yeah,
dive. That was a good dive on Elric.
yeah, yeah.
We'll probably
I'm
repeat the
watching.
conversation like every like five or so episodes of this that we do.
What's that?
So
You
we'll
mentioned him?
probably repeat that conversation in different
Probably.
variations every time we do
We
this, or
probably.
every few times we've done this.
Oh, I'm sure I've definitely mentioned him like already, like
Yeah,
numerous times.
we always mention them, but it's like like it's nice to kind of get into the whole thing of like, well, for one thing, me realizing all the things that I forgot, I thought I knew about it, but I forgot as
Right.
well.
Yeah.
And also, no, just getting into the why it's cool, aside from just saying that he looks cool. It's like the Lords of Order,
Mm.
cool, Stormbringer, like the world.
Stormbringer is the other one. Stormbringer is just like, I mean, like a demon sword that like saps the souls of the people that it kills, and it like makes him kill. You know what I mean? To
Yeah,
get like, the souls. You know what I mean? Like it's
yeah,
evil.
yeah,
And it's like it feeds off of the souls of the living, and so it's like he's all messed up. He's like he's got to take
yes,
drugs to keep up his strength. He's got this sword that's like getting him to kill people, even
yeah,
like some people that he like. It ends up like I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but earmuffs if anybody doesn't want to know what happens. But like like Stormbringer kills his love. You know what I mean? Like, and it's
yeah,
because of like so. Yeah, and that's why he's like he's tortured, because he's like
yeah,
it's like he's addicted to drugs and the sword, and
yeah.
yeah, it's I mean it's just like completely original. It's very very interesting.
And also, shoot, what was I gonna say? Stormbringer and oh, just like visually, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons I'm surprised it hasn't made the somebody hasn't given it more of a try because it's like I can picture these things so like
Mm,
so clearly like on like they jump off the page kind of
yeah.
and it's like man that would be such a cool visual for I could see it in the trailer, I could see it like whatever like hyping people
Mm,
up like oh what's that oh that's the
yeah.
Lords of Order and like I can see
Mm,
it kind of hook just visually I can see it's such a strong visual I think it would work pretty well.
yeah. Yeah.
um
Maybe
it's
maybe
not
one day. We'll see.
One day, well, all of these things will be adapted one day. It's, I
Yeah, I
guess,
think
more a
so.
matter like of whether it's going to be good or not, you know?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we don't always have to harp on the Superman thing. Like, let's pick like, that Conan movie was garbage.
Mm,
That was super upsetting because it was like, oh, this is fun. We're finally going to get another Conan movie, and it was just
mm,
terrible, like
yeah,
very forgettable. And that was for me. I blame it on the director because I've never seen a good movie from that guy, and apparently he's a scumbag too. So, but
oh, that's easy. Yeah.
just judging it off of the merits of the movie, it's just not a well made movie. It's
Well,
just not engaging, and
yeah.
you know,
I mean, I didn't like it at all.
Jason
And then,
Momoa did his best, I guess, but I don't even think he's like just because he was able to be Khal Drogo doesn't mean that he's going to make a good Conan. Like I don't think he was a great Conan either. So
yeah, I don't think he was the problem, though. I think it was just,
no,
I mean,
no, no,
they were trying to do like a little bit closer to the books than the
they were,
previous movies. You know what I mean?
they
Like the
were
first movie takes things from the books, but it's not, it's a little more, um, it's less fantastical than the books are, I suppose,
for sure.
yeah, yeah, but that
Yeah, the books
movie
are crazy.
is the reason I love Conan, really. I mean, I freaking love that movie like crazy. It's such the music, and man, it's like it's so good. I really love it.
Yeah, me too.
I really love it. It's one of my favorite movies. It's in the top 10. Sometimes it jumps to number one. I'm like, I love this is the best one. I'm like, this movie's my favorite.
It's a tough one in a way for me because I always get into like the what does it mean behind all of what they're saying, and it is. I've said this before on here and stuff, but it's like it's very late '70s, Dirty Harry, um, like we gotta. There's a conservative aspect of it that I don't love. Like it's
Right.
kind of like this world's run amok, and we need a tough guy with a big gun, or in this case, a big sword to put everyone in line, and like this kind of
Yeah.
Dirty
I
Harry
don't
type of
know.
stuff.
Nah,
Yeah,
I don't.
but it's like,
Nah.
yeah, he's a tough guy who punches like hippies and like you know what I mean. Like they're
Yeah,
kind
that's
of like
okay. Right.
they're a hippie cult, and it's like he's kind of
Right.
this old timey conservative guy that comes in and goes, oh man, like I'm just getting these
Mm,
guys to be knocked back into their place.
I
Um,
don't know about that. I no. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. But
I, all I'm saying is that despite that, I still love the movie.
okay, okay.
It's
Yeah, we're
like
gonna have to
you
fight.
like what you love, you love what you love. It's like
Well, John Milius was not like he was a surfer guy. You know what I mean? So I
sure,
don't see
sure.
him. I don't see. I mean, Conan is just this. A brute. I mean, that's what he is. You know what I mean? And I mean, I get what you're saying. There's one scene that's specific. I'm pretty sure that Arnold had that scene thrown in because I
Yeah,
feel that it
probably.
was like more of like an Arnold thing at the time, but I don't know. It's a different time too. So, but
Well,
anyway,
that's where the world was. Is that they felt like the world was, late '70s. Things were out of control, and that's what births these
you're
kind of
making me so
characters.
angry.
Sorry.
Oh, you're making me so angry right now.
A lot of opinions. Um, no, but I know I love the movie for sure. And you can whatever you can love, these westerns and Dirty Harry and
Yeah,
all these things, whatever. Like you can love freaking John Wayne or any. I don't care. It's like
you love John
it's
Wayne
all
growing
good.
up.
You like what you love what you love.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and I haven't thought about the other ones very much in terms of like we loved when we were a kid, like that Lone Ranger movie, and who knows? I don't know what these other ones. Uh,
the Lone Ranger one's on YouTube.
I haven't thought about them, but Conan because I love it, I have thought about that stuff a little bit.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger one's on YouTube if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
Called The
Um,
Legend of the Lone Ranger.
but yeah, no, it's an awesome movie for sure. It's the best.
Yeah, it's really yeah.
Me too. I
Yeah.
think it's one of my top, like just purely like not a I don't know what the word is. It's not a guilty pleasure. It's like I'm not I think of guilty pleasures as like you're ashamed. Like wrestling for me is a
Mm,
guilty pleasure because sometimes I'm like this is really dumb, but I do enjoy watching it. But like
right.
Conan, I just love it. But it's
Mm,
like Aliens or something like that where it's just purely like this is just the best. Like it's
yeah.
just so enjoyable, like just so fun.
Yeah. Another great one. Aliens.
Yeah, there's like ones that are like some of those ones from our childhood. I don't really rewatch a lot of those movies. Like I'm not as I don't get into the older stuff as much as you do, but some of them like
Mm,
Aliens and trying to think like like Terminator and Terminator 2
yeah,
and Conan. They're in that thing where they're perfect in that in their own way.
yeah, yeah,
Just like so entertaining.
yeah. I love the old movies. I mean, I still. I mean, it's you know what I mean. I just put them on in the background when I'm drawing because like I don't have to watch them. I've seen them so many times and I know what's gonna happen. It's just like and then I'm like, oh, this scene. Okay, I'll stop for like 3 minutes
Yeah,
to watch this scene. You know what I mean? Like when Conan goes into the temple to steal the princess. I'm like, and the music hit. They start putting the war paint on. I'm gonna
yeah.
put it on now. I'm watching the documentary on Industrial Light and Magic, but it's like I'm not really watching it. I just have it on, so I'd like to watch it. It's really good. Very.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that actually.
It's on Disney. It's inspiring, even though I wouldn't mind canceling my Disney after they let go of their whole creative department and
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. But I don't want to get into that. But crappy.
yeah, for sure. Well,
Yeah,
yeah, they're all brutal, man. And
yeah.
WWE just let go of like 20 or 25 or whatever of their wrestlers, and yeah, it's all
WWE did, eh?
so like bottom line craziness, like
Yeah, really garbage.
yeah, these guys are
Yeah,
brutal.
yeah, yeah,
They just don't care.
no,
But anywho,
yeah,
yeah, but that's a different time though. It's great. The light industrial light and magic stuff, I'm sure, is super fascinating.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know what else. How's the
Um,
Thunderhead going?
it's going good. I just, it's like the logistics of Kickstarter stuff. I have to get it up to a certain amount of people that are like like not pre-order,
Pre-ordered?
but like
Yeah,
just signed up to be notified, like when we
right.
launch. So it's like I wanted to kind of do it in a while ago, but I needed to get it to a bit of a higher level, kind of to guarantee the success of it. Basically, you need to get it to like a certain
Okay.
amount of people that are like signed up. And
Mm,
it just takes a while. It's just like annoying how long it
not
takes.
easy.
Sorry.
Not easy, it seems.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's just annoying because you got to like post stuff, but then I feel like I'm bugging people. I'm being annoying with like how many times I'm posting about it, and I'm like,
Mm,
and you post stuff, and some things have a reaction, and other things you're like, what's the point? I just wasted my time like coming up with something
yeah.
that I thought would be fun, and maybe people could get a kick out of, and then I get a few more people, and then you get like one more person, and like
Mm,
it can be a little bit frustrating in that way, but it is what it is. It's just it just takes a
mm,
while, to get it going. But
yeah.
I'm super happy with the issue. It looks great. It's a fun
Yeah.
story, and so yeah, I'm just kind of like just waiting a little bit longer, and then I guess we'll launch in like a week or two. I
Oh,
was
you haven't
thinking
launched yet.
also.
Okay. You still haven't
No, we
launched.
haven't launched yet. That's what I'm saying is
Okay.
that it's like there's the sign up page, and that's like the pre-launch page, kind of. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm saying, like I was talking with Carl Kerschel and Andy Belanger about it, and they were like, maybe like given something offer for the people that sign up for the first day. So I made like there's a digital sketchbook that I'm doing of like which again, good idea for you to have that thing like the your the behind the scenes stuff
Right.
for when you launch it. It's like a little. I'm gonna give away like a digital version of that sketchbook for free for the people who sign up for the first day.
Yeah.
Uh,
Cool.
so that helps, and a lot of it is very original art based so far. I've seen, every time I post something that's more original art or commissions, it's like that kind of gets this little bump. I
Yeah. Yeah.
I want the comic to just stand on its own, stand by, like stand on its own merits. But at the end of the day, you kind of have to help get it over the finish line whatever way you can. So it's like I'm doing some commissions and whatever else. But it's also yes, it's fun. It's fun kind of creative problem to see like what really sparks the interest for the readers. Hello, Drew.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh,
Here.
hey, hi. Yeah, no, there's a little freezing in
No,
here.
because somebody called, so like now
Oh,
I
okay,
don't know. This phone stinks. I got a new phone and it's not good. I don't like it. Anyway.
okay. Oh no, that's not good.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
anyway, yeah, no, it's
let's.
going good, and it'll be, we'll do the Kickstarter.
Yeah, that page looks super cool that you're working on right now.
Thank you.
Yeah,
This is like people
it looks like
handing out.
very Mazzucchelli, Frank Miller-esque sort of.
Yeah, that's a big. I'm always trying to. I'm always thinking of Dark Knight Returns, and I mean Sin City a little
Yeah.
bit. But Dark Knight Returns in the way that he. Sometimes I'm trying to
Mm,
too much detail, and I'm like, yeah, just have the whole crowd. Frank Miller made this whole crowd just a bunch of silhouettes, man. Like you don't have to draw
mm,
everything. So I'm trying to do
mm,
more of that. It's hard sometimes because you always feel like you have to prove yourself and
mm,
like do
mm.
more. I do the full drawing in pencil, and then sometimes also you do a cool hand or a cool face or whatever, and you're like, no, but I want to show people that I did a good job there.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's like, no, just black it out, man. It's fine. It'll be bolder and more interesting if it's all black. So
yeah.
here is it's a union rally, and
Mm,
there's a bunch of unions. This is from. I got to make sure I don't have anything written here that's going to give away what it's about.
right.
It's a union rally. It's a bunch of different unions, kind of unifying. So a mega union, kind of, and they're going on a march. And then over here, there's these Pinkerton guys in like an Irish pub, and they're getting ready to break it up with some bats and stuff like that. So
Mm,
um,
cool.
those no good Pinkerton agents. Who will protect these people? Who will protect them? I say. You
Hint,
will
hint.
find out. You will find out one day,
Yeah,
like when it comes out.
yeah,
But yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of
yeah.
work though, man. Getting the reference for like
Yeah.
1930s Irish pub and just like just trying to find just the right photo to like kind of use. And
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
bunch of stuff. It's in the 1930s, so there's all the time. I'm like, oh, this person has a megaphone, and then I'm like, I don't know, did they have megaphones then?
Right.
Like I know,
Yeah.
like these little questions about, oh, this person's on a phone call. And I'm like, well, what would they use? Like they have phones, but there's one character. I'm like, she's in an office. So would she have a personal, like, would she have a phone on her desk, or would that be not available at the time? So it's
Mm.
like, if I was on a TV show, I would have like a research assistant to help me out. But instead I just got to sit here and like Google stuff all day,
Figure it out. Yeah,
figure it out, But it's also
yeah.
fun. It kind of brings you into that world. And I love that world of the 1930s. So it's cool too, but it's definitely like it's an interesting kind of. You always have to catch yourself and remind yourself that like these things might not have existed back then,
Right.
and
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of an interesting problem.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, yeah. What about maybe we'll wrap up soon? But
Yeah, I gotta get going actually. I gotta call Al. She just called me. So just letting people know that if they want the first trade of Starstorm, you can go to my Instagram page and click on the barcode, and then it'll take you to where you can buy them.
yeah,
I gotta put a link up in my description.
yeah,
I'll
for
get on
sure.
it probably
Yeah,
this week,
yeah,
and yeah. So, anyways, you guys can get that and take a look at Wes's Kickstarter, Thunderhead. We'll be launching relatively soon. But you need
yeah,
some more people to sign up. You'll be getting a free sketchbook, digital sketchbook with the sign up. Is that right?
yeah. That's right.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, check it out. And if not, well, we won't like you, and we'll find you. We'll get you. The curses on you with our Stormbringer toys.
Be
Okay.
cursed.
Anyways, cursed. Yeah, you
You
are
are
cursed.
cursed.
That's a song and dance for the next time. Okay, dude. So I'll talk to you later.
All
I'll
right.
see you. I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.